Alrighty, hey everyone. This is Mio Lammers from Angel of Alchemy. Today we're going to be talking to non-Lammers of Invoked 101 about his, what place?
Third place, Battle Wasp Beetrooper deck.
Alrighty, so you just want to go through it and let us know what's different about this build compared to the one that you did a video about just a little bit ago?
Yeah, so just before we get into it, this is a lot different. This is a lot better, in my opinion, than that previous version. But I will say, Beetrooper is one of those few decks that there is no perfect version of right now. It's very experimental, which is really cool to see with a Yu-Gi-Oh strategy, especially one as good as Beetrooper's. All right. Starting off with the monsters, and I'll talk about my matchups real quick. I played Prank Kids twice in a row. One time was Gara, one time was Little Sheep. And then I played against Generators, played by Combo Cody. And then I played against Evil Twins in the final round. So in this deck usually took a game 3. I will say it is a heavy go first strategy. All right, so getting into it, starting us off right here. Does that work? Mm-hmm. Okay. 3 Scout Buggy, really insane card, probably one of the best starters in the deck. There was a few times I summoned this off Insect Imitate, which is a really important card, and I'll talk about that when I get there. But Scout Buggy was really cool, being able to get another copy of itself. You don't think it's important, but for link climbing, it's insane. Same thing kind of goes for Battle Wasp, not Battle Wasp, Beetrooper Scale Bomber. This is a dude, if you normal or special a bug, he special summons himself from the hand as well. And also, if your opponent's monster activates a monster effect, as a response, you can tribute a bug and pop that monster. It didn't come up, that effect didn't come up, but it definitely came up for like putting pressure on the opponent. Sliding these away. The last Beetrooper I played, I cut Sting Lancer to 2. 3 was kind of clogging me. At times in the previous build. I'm not sure how I like 2. The main reason I was playing 2 of him was so that way I could have more space for other stuff. But he's really cool. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can target a bug in your graveyard and a monster in your opponent's graveyard, put both to the bottom of the deck, and then special summon this card. And then on normal or special, I think. Let me see. If this card is normal or special, yeah, you get to search a Beetrooper Spell or Trap. And those are hard once per turns on this effect, but it's definitely really cool to just knock an Alistair or a Lilla or Kiss Kill out of the grave to special summon this. All right. Okay. Next card, Battle Wasp Sting the Poison. This is the starter for the Battle Wasp strategy. On normal or special, you get to search a Battle Wasp monster. Really cool. It's also a negate, a quick effect spot negate by attributing a bug. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way, just that way we have more room for the other stuff. Move him up. Then I played 2 of the Revival guy, Arbalest. On normal, you can target a level 3 or lower insect in grave and special summon it. Doesn't negate effects. That's amazing. It does summon in defense position. And then it has another effect. If it's destroyed, you can special summon a Battle Wasp. That never came up. Definitely the Revival stuff. One of the best search targets for Sting, though. Next up, 3 Twin Bow. The reason we're playing 3 Twin Bows is because not only is he just a special summon, like it says during your main phase you can special summon this card, but it locks you into insects. He's level 3, which is really important. Beetroopers actually have a weird focus on level 3s currently, which is kind of cool because it lets them make Cicada King, and Cicada King is really good for bugs. It's one of the best bug monsters that we have. Then 2 Pin. Again, this is just another extender. It special summons itself if you control an insect. And it does 200 burn. The burn I always did just because haha funny. But special summoning him as an extender was always really good. So that's it for the main archetypes of the deck. That's it for Battle Wasps and Beetroopers. Then for bug stuff, 3 Primitive Butterfly. Butterfly is really cool. It special summons itself. If you control no monsters, it's Cyber Dragon, but a bug. One of the cool things I added to this deck was Retaliating Seed. This came up against Prank Kids. So the reason it came up against Prank Kids is because it was just able to, whenever they would fusion summon, you special summon this, and then it banishes their monster, which is really cool. Another reason I played this was to search another one of my one-ofs, which was Parasite Paranoid. If this card is sent from field to grave, you can search a Earth Insect with like 1500 or less attack or defense. And Parasite Paranoid is really cool because you equip it to a monster as a quick effect, and then that monster becomes an insect. It can't target insects for attacks, and its effects that target insects are negated. So this was really cool, especially in the Evil Twin matchup, and it also creates a thing called the Bug Lock, which I'll explain more. And the main function of the Bug Lock is that this turns the equipped monster into an insect. Something else, and shout out to Gara's brother, Resonating Insect. I was able to pick this up like literally 30 minutes before locals because we had to go back to Gara's house and get this. This card is super important for the strategy because it lets you do some really intense searching. It says if this card is sent from field to grave, you can add one level 5 or higher insect from your deck to your hand. So this can search Sting Lancer, and then if it's banished, you can dump an insect from deck to grave, which is Goki Pole, but I couldn't find my Goki Poles, so I just didn't play that. I usually just dumped a brick like my Trans Cicada. But Trans Cicada is also really cool. He didn't come up, but what he does, it says on special summon, it summons a Molt token, which has the same stats as him, and then it locks you into insects as long as that's on field. It is a tuner, which doesn't really come up, but it is really cool because you can dump this to the graveyard and then special summon it back with Arbalest, get the token, or you can insect imitate this out off a Sting if you get ashed and get... It basically is a fourth Scout Buggy in a lot of ways. That's it for monsters. Spells and traps, one formation, you don't need more than one. It's a monster born for a Beetrooper, and then you take damage, and then it also generates tokens, but it doesn't matter enough to like play more. 3 Revival Swarm. This was the Battle Wasp monster reborn, and then it has a protection effect by banishing itself and targeting an insect to protect it until the end of the next turn. This card is really cool. I really liked it, but a lot of times I would banish my Battle Wasp, and I just didn't have the ability to use the other effect, so it happens. 3 Insect Imitation. This card is an MVP card. So what happens is this card says tribute an insect, special summon 1 insect from your deck with a 1 level higher than the tributed monster. You activate Sting, they ash it, you activate this, summon Scout Buggy, summon another monster. It keeps your combo going. That's the main reason I use this. Same reason was Triple Tactics Talent. I own these, so I played them. Especially since this deck is full of Ash Bait. I really felt like I wanted to play the Tactics. And one ofs is Called By and Monster Reborn. Obvious. That's it for the spells. For the traps, 3 Flying Sting. This is the counter trap for Beetroopers. It just negates a monster effect, but then it can reset itself by banishing an insect if you control an insect with 3k or more. So really cool card. And then the other card for the Bug Lock is Rivalry. So like I mentioned, Parasite lets you... Is it Parasite Paranoid? Whatever. The Parasite card, it lets you equip it from the hand, and then, so as a quick effect, so to itself, you can chain Rivalry, and then, like, just totally shaft your opponent whenever it comes to special summoning stuff, because there's no way, like, Insect is such a weird typing that not everything has something it can play like that. So that's it for the main deck. I really like the main deck. I think it's pretty solid. All right, moving into extra. It's a pretty cool extra. It's kind of tight, honestly. Like the main deck's pretty tight, but so is the extra. Although I do have flex spots. We're starting off with 3 Incredible Atlas or Invincible Atlas. This was the MVP. Obviously, it is the boss monster. It needs 2+ insects, so you can use 2 Link 2s, and then it also has the effects of cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects while it has 3k or more, and then it has an effect if you tribute a bug to special summon a Beetrooper from the deck, or to make it gain 2k. I use the summon from deck effect way more. It never got ashed because everything else in the deck is ash bait. And then I only ever needed the other effect when I was playing against Generator because I needed to beat over for like exactly 6,000. So this card came up. It was the best monster in like the extra deck obby. Another really important combo piece is Armorhorn. Armorhorn is the extra normal summon. He's a Link 2, and his main effect is that he gives you an extra normal summon. But his other effect is also really good, especially with Invincible Atlas, because he can banish 3 bugs from the graveyard to special summon him back, but banish himself when he leaves the field. So it's really good for just getting that extra body you need to tribute off of Atlas. It's super nice. He is weak. He is only 1,000 attack, but it's because he's so good. Next up, the other one of insect links, 1 Shinobi insect. I never summoned this, so I don't really feel like I'm going to talk about it, just because like this is probably going to get cut for something else, like a second Pica Finalia. This is the second most important link I feel that isn't Atlas, because what this does is on link summon, you discard a card to equip 1 insect monster to another insect you control. Typically that's going to be Armorhorn, and you're either going to equip the sea monster, I think it's a Retaliating Sea, the one I'm currently playing, or a Resonating Insect, so that way when you link them away, they get their trigger effects when they hit grave. And then also, before you do that, you can shuffle back 3 insect monsters into your deck and draw 1 card. This is really cool. It can shuffle back extra deck stuff. this was definitely MVP. I am really glad that I can't remember whose combo video it was. I would shout it out, but I can't remember who it was. But he showed the Pica Finalia stuff with the armor horn, so that's really cool. And then the last insect leak is Seraphim Papapillion, and what this does is on link summon it gains counters equal to the insects that were used to summon it. So if you use 2 bugs to summon it, you get 2 counters. And then it gains 200 per counter, kind of like Cyber Dragon Infinity. And then it has a quick effect. And you can't use the counter gain and the quick effect on the same turn, which kind of sucks. But you can detach from it or remove a counter from it to special summon 1 level 4 or lower insect from your grave in defense position. I think it's level 4 or lower. Yeah. So that's really good for special summoning back Sting, because then you get the negate and you get a search. So it's super good for that. That's it for the bug links. They're really good. Like Battle Wasp is insane with the bug links. Then for Synchros, 1 Azusa, I did summon this. 1 Halberd, never summoned this. 1 Hama, never summoned this. And 1 Ballista. I did summon this, but then it got negated. These don't really come up, and honestly, you don't have to play these. You can play flex spots instead of these, because they're kind of terrible. And then for the Xyz monsters, this is mandatory, I feel. Cicada King, rank 3 bug. I summoned this at least 4 times. Needs two level 3 monsters, and it says if the battle position of this card is changed, you get a special summon a bug from your graveyard or your hand, which is really cool. But the other effect is that he can when your opponent, well, let me see. You can when a monster on field activates effect, you can detach a material from this card, negate that effect on field, and then you switch the battle position of 1 insect you control or make it gain attack. And so that's really cool, because that means he can switch his own battle position. And he fulfills his own requirement because he detaches. So it's really cool to make this off of like scout buggies, and then you detach, and then you summon back the scout buggy and get its own effect, which is super dope. And 1 Titanic Moth. Titanic Moth is just a burn card. He's 2400, so he's just as big as the monsters you're going to use to rank into it, but you know, it comes up every now and then. That's it for like the main and the extra. I do have a side that I will show off real quick, but I'm not going to talk about it too much. 3 Cosmic, 3 Godarla. This is 100% mandatory, either main or side, because you can search it off of Resonating. Droll, Lancia, and Dark Gorilla. Pretty simple side deck. And that's it. That's Battle Wasp Beetrooper.
Alrighty, so I know that you did really well today, but was there any cards that you kind of wish were in your deck and you felt like you really needed?
Probably Contact C. I felt like I should have played Contact C at least as 1 copy to search off of the not the retaliating C, but the resonating insect. And I think Goki Pole. Those were the 2 cards I think I was missing.
Alrighty, so something that I noticed whenever you were doing the deck profile is that you brought up a lot of the Battle Wasp cards for most of the plays. Do you think this is actually, like with the new Beetrooper stuff in it, do you think it's still heavy Battle Wasp play, or do you think the Beetrooper is more of the what makes the deck run?
I think the Battle Wasps run the main deck, the Beetroopers run the extra. Like 100%. Like, because Atlas and Armorhorn are much better boss monsters for Battle Wasps than the Battle Wasp Synchros. But Battle Wasps get to the stuff that you need to summon those Link monsters better than Beetroopers do.
Alrighty, and last question for you is, do you think this is a viable deck to take to just a regular locals, or do you think it wouldn't hold up very well against most meta or rogue decks today?
I think this definitely handles itself against rogue decks, because that's what I've mainly played against. You know, I played against Prank Kids and I beat one of them and I took games off the other one. I do feel if you change the way that it's built, like such as playing Contact C and a few other things, I think you can definitely take this to a higher level. This is a very experimental deck right now, and watching people work around the insect strategy is super cool, and I can't wait to see what else other people come up with. This is just what I have, you know? This is my meme deck. So if someone has something better than I do, that's great, because that means this deck is working, you know? Mm-hmm. All right.
And closing goodbyes?
Goodbye to, I guess shout outs to my boys Gara, Combo Cody, Little Sheep, James, because he left his playmat and I'm doing a deck profile on it. Shout out to Mio for letting me use her deck box, her super cool Kraken deck box today. And shout out to my Your Playmat affiliate link in the description. Shout out to Chaos Games, their link in the description. Shout out to my Discord, their link in the description.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.